Let's talk about GraphQL. Why is it so good? Why do people like it? Why are we even taking this course? So GraphQL is a what I call a specification for requesting data and pushing data updates to and from a server. So GraphQL is not a library in itself. It's an idea. It's a whole bunch of ideas and a specification. And then what happens is that library maintainers, people that build Keystone, people that build Apollo, they go and implement that as a layer on top of a database, which is exactly what Keystone is. So if we want to be able to create products, push products, get a list of the products, get a list of users and their products, we will use GraphQL for that. So you're not going to be able to do this because you probably don't have the finished version running, but I'm just going to give you a quick visual of what GraphQL looks like. So when I'm in my Keystone here, I can go to the API Explorer, and this brings up sometimes this is referred to as graphical. This is something called GraphQL Playground, actually. And you can see I've got all kinds of interesting stuff going on in here. I'm just going to open up a new tab. Let's bump that up. So the way that it works is that we write these things called queries and mutations to either queries will pull data down from the API, and mutations will either create data or update existing data. So let's write our first query here. And I open up curly brackets. Now, GraphQL is its own syntax, and we're going to have to get a little bit used to that, but it very much looks like JavaScript objects, just without the actual values. It's just the properties. So the query that we want is, we can say, oh, look at this. So the nice thing about GraphQL is it is typed, meaning that everything is specified beforehand, as well as if it's a string or a number or a relationship to a user or anything like that. So as you start typing, you get this really nice autocomplete drop down. And these are all the queries that we have right here. So we can take a look here. Let's take a look at all products. And then the idea with GraphQL is you can't just say, give me all the products, and it will give you every single field, the name, the image, the price. It'll give you everything about it. It won't do that, actually. You have to explicitly ask for the parts of the thing that you want. So for the product, we want the name, and the description, and maybe the price. Then when I hit go, boom. What it does is it brings back to us. You see how, like I said, it looks like an object, but without the actual values. It's just the properties. What it will do is it will bring back to you what you asked for, but with the data filled in on all the properties, which is really, really nice. So no longer do you have to create a whole bunch of different REST endpoints that specify, like, give me the products with their name and description, or give me the products with all the information. You just have to ask for the thing that you want along with what fields you want. Another kind of cool thing is that there is docs for this. So we could say, like, let's look for all products. You click that. Then it will tell you all products. It takes these arguments, so you could filter them or search or sort them or order. We'll certainly get into all of that when we do searching and things like that. And then it tells you what are the possible fields. So you get the ID, the name, the status, the description, the price, and the photo of each of those. Okay, let's close that down here. One kind of cool thing is you can do multiple queries in one go. So we want all the products, but maybe we want all the users. So give me the name and the email of that user. So now I run this and we get all the products that we wanted, but we also, in the same request, will get a list of all of the actual users that we want. And furthermore, it is relational, meaning that if you have data that is related to each other, you can say, give me all the users and give me their cart. And for each item in their cart, give me the ID and the product. Let's run it. It's because product is a relationship. Let's just get the ID. So a relationship we have here is a user has a cart, which has a relationship to another piece of data called cart items. And inside of that cart, it has a relationship to a product that has a name and a description. So go ahead and run that. And now what we've done is we've queried every single user, their email, what's in their cart, and then for each item in their cart, we grab the name and description and the price of it. And as long as you set up your as long as you set up the relationships in Keystone or in whatever you're working with, you're able to write these really slick single queries that will go and grab just the data that you need, but all in a single request. So GraphQL is really, really cool. So that is queries. There's a flip side to that, which is things like mutations. So a mutation might be as simple as I need to reset my password. So you run a mutation called request reset, and then it will return to you something. Or updating a specific user. Here I was updating a password. And the idea is, like, obviously we're going to hook all this up to buttons and forms and stuff in our React application, but the whole API is available via this little playground that you can play with it. So that's a very high level of what GraphQL is. We're going to be using it throughout the rest of this course, and we'll get a little bit more into the nitty gritty and of the different things. But at a very high level, you need to know that GraphQL is queries and mutations that either pull down the data and relational data that you need, or it pushes data to your server where it then updates or creates new products, users, cart items, things like that. So that is GraphQL. Big fan of it. It takes a little bit more work to get set up than a traditional REST API endpoint, but the work is primarily done for us under the hood with Keystone.js. And especially if you're taking this course for the second time, because I have re-recorded it, you'll notice that this is a lot easier than the way that we did it previously. And that's just because the ecosystem is maturing and a lot of the tooling around this is getting much, much better. So I'm really excited about it. Let's jump into the next video and get Keystone going.